Hi everyone, this is Gayle and welcome to my Be Bodacious channel where we are all about not letting life get in the way of living. I am pretty stoked for tonight. It is trivia night! Woo! And I am so glad we are going to have some fun. I have got, woo! Let me fix this. Wow. That was a blast we didn't need, right? Sorry about that, you all. But welcome, welcome. I see we have two watchers. So do come into the chat and say hello. But we've got some travel trivia going on tonight. I'm so stoked. The travel trivia, well, it's not just travel. There's a little bit of geography, but it's all places within the U.S. where you can go, especially if you like to travel. I've got a couple of easy warm-up questions, and then they're going to get a little harder. That's just the way it is. So we're going to get into that in just a minute. We have Women's Station Channel in, so hi, Women's Station Channel. It is good to see you. Busy Lady is in, so hi, Busy Lady. It's good to see you too. Good to see you both. I hope that the weekend is treating you right. I believe we're already at the end of January. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So, anyway, the travel trivia that I have has got, like I said, some super easy warm-up questions just to kind of break the ice. Up for grabs tonight is bragging rights. We don't have a prize, but keep watching in February because we're going to do another giveaway over on our Facebook channel. So if you're listening to this later and you are not on our Facebook page, you need to dive on over there. I'm going to put the link right here in the chat room so you'll have it. Boom. So do come on over and join us if you're not already there, because that is where the next giveaway is going to be, and I think y'all are going to like this. So I'm going to try to do the giveaways a little more frequently. Getting lots of positive feedback that you all like them, so we're going to go there. And of course, as we get into travel season, we're going to have, more travel themed opportunities on the stream and so forth. So we've got Valerie Reese in the house now. So hey, Valerie, how are you? Hope your weekend is going well too. Well, all right. So I'm going to toss out these trivia questions and give you all, a few seconds to respond. Okay, are you all ready? Who's ready to start? I'm ready. Oh, Busy Lady says, cannot wait for the snow to be gone. I can't get my car out of my driveway. Oh no. Well, unfortunately, we've got some more snow coming here, but hopefully it won't hang around long. I posted a photo over on Instagram. It's a winter scene that was my backyard, and I put summer will be here soon, just to remind myself that the winter won't last forever. Woo! All right, Women's Station Channel says she is ready. I'm gonna move my drink out of the picture here. Okay, so first up on our trivia question, again, easy warm-up question. Where is the Statue of Liberty? New York, New Hampshire, or New Jersey? Y'all are going to get that. Where is it? Oh, look here. Valerie took her grandsons out for lunch. It's Gavin's 19-year birthday on Monday. Woo! Good for Gavin. Good for you to take them out for lunch, too. Let's see. And for the answer here, everybody is saying New York. That is true. So give you all a pat on the back. Now, where is the Liberty Bell? Where is the Liberty Bell? Is it in Philadelphia or Boston or New York? You tell me. Where is it? Where could it be? Yep. Busy Lady saying sounds nice to Valerie. So where is it? Where's the Liberty Bell? We've got Busy Lady and Valerie. Pennsylvania, and oops, Sorry, Women's Chasing Channel. It is in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I went to see it one time. I got to go back because now they've moved it from the old courthouse to this, Liberty Visitor Center kind of thing that I've read about, but I haven't seen it, so I got to go back. They actually don't know what caused the crack in the Liberty Bell. I thought that was so interesting. So anyway, yep. Going on into the next one, we're getting a little harder here. Where was the first settlement in America? Where was the first settlement in America? Was it Roanoke? Was it Jamestown? Or was it Boston? Roanoke, Jamestown, or Boston? Where, because it is. Val said she saw the Statue of Liberty while on a cruise ship leaving from New Jersey. Wow. Good for you. Jamestown, Plymouth, so Boston, Jamestown. It is Jamestown. It is Jamestown. So I know I couldn't remember for sure, but in December of 1606, the journey to Virginia started it. And so in 1607 is when they started the first settlement, and they decided to name Jamestown um, after King James I. So that became the first permanent English colony there. So, and I'm going to post these later over on the blog, the Bodacious Broads travel blog, so you all can see the answers and where I got the questions and where I got the answers. So Jamestown it is. Peter Parker is in the house, so hello, Peter. All right, all right. So now these questions are going to get a little harder, but don't worry, y'all got these. Okay. So what was the name of New York City before it was named New York? What was it? Was it New Amsterdam, New Paris, or New Hampshire? Y'all are probably going to get this. Let's see what we got. Nope, not Manhattan. Busy Lady says New Amsterdam. Okay, what else we got here? And give everybody just a few seconds to get their answers typed in. Val is saying New Amsterdam. And that is New Amsterdam for the win. That was the answer. It was actually named New Amsterdam before it was named New York, but that did take place on Manhattan Island. So, Women's Station Channel, you got the location right, not the name, but that's still really good. So, pat y'all's on the back. Yay! Peter Parker also says New Amsterdam. So that would be right, Good job. Good job. And this next one, I'm going to let you all tell me, and I'm not going to make this multiple choice because I bet you all are going to get this. All right. From where did the rocket launch that went to the moon? And I could go for the name of the space center or the name of the state. You tell me. Tell me what you think. Where did the rocket launch from that went to the moon? Let's see. Where could it be? And you can even tell me which type of rocket if you want to. I'm going to see if I can pull this up while we are waiting for everybody to type in here. Okay, let's see what we've got here. NASA, Kennedy Space Center. Whoop, I lived by it, LOL. Houston? No. Houston, we have a problem, but because that was not it. It was actually Kennedy Space Center, which they named after President Kennedy, who made the announcement that we were going to go to the moon. I will pull this up. Now, Kennedy Space Center is a really neat place. If you are going to go to Florida, I suggest stopping in if you at all can. But here we go. It lifts off from Kennedy Space Center in Florida, and they did the launch the day before with a dress rehearsal. Now, launches are they're fascinating because the time that we were over there, they were broadcasting on the speakers everything that was going on in mission control minutes before takeoff. And of course, we had to be there like a couple of hours before takeoff. Um, that was back pre 9/11, so we could get at the very edge of the safety perimeter. And it was the space shuttle that was taking off, and it set off car alarms everywhere because it was a sudden vibration of the earth that it was crazy. It just felt like an enormous earthquake that when it took off, and you could see it for several minutes there until the space shuttle got on orbit. But they broadcast everything that was going on in mission control up to the launch. And even at 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes, it was almost scrapped. And they were doing, the go, no go, and all this stuff. And anytime you do go to a launch, please realize that it may not take off as scheduled due to a million different circumstances. And if there's any chance at all that it won't go, then they scrap it if they see any kind of problem at all. And which is, what you want. You don't want anybody getting hurt. But Kennedy Space Center is the kind of the almost ground zero for one of the space sites, definitely for the launches. But there are other places to check as well. Huntsville, Alabama, Houston, there's a spot in Texas, and they're all, to me, fascinating. So, all right, now let's go on over to our next question, which is related. What rocket launched astronauts to the moon? I'll take several different answers on this, but what rocket launched astronauts to the moon? And I can already tell you it is not the space shuttle. We never went to the moon with the space shuttle. We never left orbit with the space shuttle, but anyway, because it was designed to go on orbit. Apollo, I'll take that. I'll take Apollo. I will definitely take Apollo. The other thing that I will take is the Apollo mission was actually on the Saturn V rocket. In a lot of the space centers, if you go to Huntsville, if you do go to Kennedy and so forth, a lot of the space centers have the rockets there on display. Cool, super cool. And it was crazy. We were in the middle of nowhere at the Golden Spike National Park. That's where they joined the two railroads. But if you go down a little farther, you'll come into a rocket garden. And the rocket garden, that's the name of the different spots where they have the rockets. So here we are in the middle of like nowhere, and there's this rocket garden. It was so crazy and so cool to see that. So you just never know where little pieces of history and stuff are gonna pop up because we were up there for the Golden Spike. We wanted to see where the rocket started, but Diet Rocket Garden in Utah is just literally like right down the street. So if you are ever there, and there are missiles and other things, it was not just the Saturn V. But you can get really up close. You can actually touch the rockets there. And like I said, it's just really, really cool. Yeah. Who knew? We were actually going we were actually going down the street just to explore and see what was down there. We hadn't been there before. And my husband was like, "That's a rocket sticking up." And I was like, Where?" But trusty eagle-eyed husband spotted it, and we were off like a rocket to go check out the rocket garden. I know that's terrible. Hey, Stellar Piper. She was with us that day. So yeah, good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we are doing travel trivia. It is trivia night. I've got another couple of questions for you, which are going to be this is the next couple are easy. I'm not going to give you multiple choice on this one coming up because you won't need it. What is the smallest state in terms of land mass, not population, in terms of land mass? What is the smallest state in the U.S.? Now, do mean state, not territory. This sound is bad. I'm sorry. Women's channel says it sounds good on her end. Okay, good, good, good. If anybody else has problems, let me know. I'll check and see if there's anything on my end that I can do. Let me pull this up. Okay, I got Rhode Island, Rhode Island, Rhode Island. Okay, according to this, it looks like my stream quality is good. So there's nothing really that I can do. Is anybody else having problems? We can maybe put it on hold and switch microphones. That would be the only thing. So we've got Rhode Island, Rhode Island, Rhode Island, and that is for the win. That is correct. So yay! It is indeed Rhode Island. So there you go. Next one. I'm not going to make this a multiple choice either. I'm going to let y'all think about this for a second. What is the largest state in terms of land mass? What's the biggest? What's the largest state? Let's see if y'all get this. This actually confuses people sometimes, by the way. And I don't know why, it just does. Okay. Choppy at times. Okay. Busy says Texas. No. Alaska. Alaska. She meant Texas. It is Alaska. Alaska is the largest state in the U.S. by land mass. But those of you who answered Texas, I don't want you to worry because that is like super common. People forget about Alaska because it's not part of the lower 48. And so do not worry. But Alaska is the definitely the largest. So there you go. Let's see if we can find it on here and see if I can pull this up. I have bookmarked a map where they actually have taken the state of Alaska and they have superimposed it on a map of the U.S. And we'll show it because it is crazy how large, how much space this takes up in the U.S. Can you believe it? If Alaska was in the middle of the US, it would stretch from northern Florida going all the way across almost to the Pacific Ocean in California and almost to the Canadian border. Is that not amazing? So yeah, by landmass, it definitely is. I'm going to take this down. So, hey, Global Family Outreach, it's good to see you. Welcome. Hello from hello from us to you in Florida. Good to see you. Good to see you. There we go. So, all right. So that was Alaska. So, question. We're going to get into a national park here. Where is Devil's Tower National Monument? Is it? Is it in Wyoming, Montana, or South Dakota? Devil's Tower National Monument. Where is it? Where is it? This is a giant, huge rise, if you will, that comes out. It's so tall, and you can see it from just miles and miles around. Because there's nothing else in the landscape except this giant formation. Okay, and Women's Station Channel about Alaska is saying, well, that's huge. That makes sense. I do forget to include it subconsciously because of my time frame. Okay, let's see, Montana. We're guessing about where Devil's Tower is. Montana. Busy lady, no idea. Okay, Peter Parker, South Dakota. Do we have any other answers? Do we have any other answers? Okay. And this crazy thing, it's not crazy, but this has been featured and used in many movies. I am going to pull it up so y'all can see where it is. Stellar Piper says, isn't that Yosemite? You got one, Montana. Valerie's backing out. She doesn't know. So here we go. I'm going to pull it up. Where is Devil's Tower? Ta-da! Devil's Tower, Wyoming. And it really does look like this. Lots of trees around it, and then this giant tower just jutting up. Now, if you go, I want to warn you that at least when I was there, the parking lot was not that big. It was spread, just right around the base, not around the base, but it was the visitor center area at the base. And so if you go, try to go like early in the day or off season so you won't have a problem about parking. But so many national parks are so crowded that some of them are doing timed entry. So check about that actually before you go. Yeah. Stella Piper says, nope, different landscape. Whoopsie. Yep. Yeah. That's actually where I saw my first antelope. It was kind of a cool experience. Just saying. So anyway, that was Devil Tower. Now, what is the name of the deepest lake in the United States? The deepest lake. This is a pretty easy one. I think y'all are going to get this. So I'm not going to make this one multiple choice, although I can if I need to. I can if I need to. So the deepest lake. Do y'all need some help? Okay, I'm going to make it multiple choice. It's either Lake Cherokee in Tennessee, Lake Mead in Arizona, or Crater Lake in Oregon? Mallory says Smith Mountain. No. Stellar Piper says Crater Lake. And the station channel says yay. So there's your choices: Lake Cherokee, Lake Mead, or Crater Lake. You have fun, Peter Parker. Thank you for coming in. Well, I'll give you a hint. The lake is actually part of an ancient volcano, and so that's why it's so deep. But it's part of an ancient volcano that is now collected water in a lake. So, thinking of that, yes, Women's Station Channel says be careful when you go there. Ta-da! Crater Lake National Park in Oregon, and you can see the top of the volcano there. I have not been here yet, but it is on my list. Here's another. Well, I thought it was going to give me some more photos. Sorry about that, folks. I hit the wrong button. Air quality, lost and found, places to go. Well, I did see a gallery, but I don't see it now, so sorry about that. There's some of the area around it on a fall photo. So Crater Lake it is. And I just kind of gave this one away, so I know you all are going to get this next question. So hold on. Oh, Women's Station Channel. I'm like so jealous of you. She's seen it up close, and the ride there is worse. Uh-oh. Busy lady wants to go to Oregon. She hasn't been back since she was 5. Oregon was a pretty neat state. I didn't get to go through everything. Like we drove through Portland and went on this super long road that had a, not low, it had a kind of a long grade there. Found out it was one of the most dangerous roads in the US. I'm like, glad I didn't know that when we were on it. Women's Station Channel says it's pretty there. That is awesome. Oh, you were. That is so cool, Busy. Very cool. You've been a little of everywhere. From Florida from Portland to the other end of the country, up north. That is so cool. So, all right. So, the next one, I'm not going to make it multiple choice because I kind of gave it away and you all already know it anyway. What state is Crater Lake in? Gee, like what might it be? What state might Crater Lake be in? Not many people know she gets around. You do. That's cool. Because then, like when you retire, you already know what part of the country you want to go to. Not many people want to live here now. Bend, Oregon. Yeah, it's in Oregon. She's right. So I don't know. It was a beautiful state. The parts that I drove through, and I remember the thing I will remember the most about going through and going through Oregon was this gorgeous, amazing sunset. It was such a rich red color. It was just really vibrant. And I don't know if it was because we were traveling west and kind of going into the sunset or what, but that sunset seemed to last forever. I'm going to say that it probably lasted half an hour, 45 minutes of stunning, brilliant color. Um, it's to this day, it remains one of the most amazing sunsets that I have just about ever seen. because it was so vibrant and it just lasted so long. So if that is your typical sunset out there, I would never want to leave. Let's see, go here. Dizzy says, now I'm stuck in Michigan since we got a house. But you have a house. So that's really super cool. She wants to go out west so bad. Pile in the car sometime and go if you ever have a chance. I'll tell you, the first time we went out west, hopefully Stellar Piper forgave me later, but the schools at the time, the kids were both in regular school, and they had done somebody up at the main office with the schools had made the decision that this one year they were going to take all the middle schools and put them under construction. Starting, the plan was to start right at the end of the school year and have it completed by the start of the next school year. Well, that was supposed to be in August. And all of us in the county, well, I guess not all of us, most of us in the county, those of us who had common sense, we're going to know that you can't take the schools apart and put them back together again that same summer. So, surprise! School was delayed a month and a couple of weeks starting. It did not start until like the end of September. So we had so much summer vacation left after it was supposed to be done. But I was like, okay. My grandmother had planned to take a Western excursion with my grandfather, but he died the month before they got to go. He actually passed away a week after his 50th anniversary. Um, so I said, why don't we just go? And we had a great time for the most part, but traveling with an older lady who's kind of set in her ways did lead for some interesting moments, I shall say. But if you ever get a chance, just go because there's so many cool things to see on the way. So let me go on up here. Women's Station Channel says the coast is the most beautiful in the world. I keep hearing that. I love that it's not cold here. Oh, you are so lucky. Well, that gives you a reason to go. Well, I'm afraid of Gresham. Oh, Valerie is knitting Easter hedgehogs. She is getting ready. There you go. Nice. They're so cute. Why is that? My parents met there. Stellar's asking for pics from Val when she is done. Send photos. Okay, Women's Nation Channel says she feels like there's crime there. Okay. Stellar says, yep, that would have been a great plan if it had worked. Yeah, well, parts of it did. Got to see the Grand Canyon. And I will say that the Grand Canyon, okay, everybody sees these gorgeous photos of the Grand Canyon and the weather is always nice and it's always clear and it's always pretty and don't buy into that. The first time we went to the Grand Canyon, there was a tornado warning and it hailed so badly that the entire road turned white. That, and then the last time I drove to Alaska was the only time I'd ever seen that happen, and I was going through Montana at that time. It was amazing. So it's kind of neat getting to play in the hail because it did look like snow, and yet we're all nice and warm. So that was kind of cool. Val says, I usually do videos as I finish them. I do weekly updates on my knitting projects. Yes, she does. So you'll have to check that out. Women's Channel's going to go make a milkshake while she listens. Busy wants one. She says a milkshake sounds good. I'll take one too. So if you want to make 3 of them, just a little drive to get her from there to here. Right? Okay. So going back to the trivia, what is the lowest point in the US? And I will make this multiple choice, okay? What is the lowest point in the US? Is it sea level at Charleston, South Carolina? Is it Havasu, Arizona? Or is it Badwater Basin in Death Valley? Where is the lowest, or what is the lowest point in the US? Let's see. Oh, Stellar Piper wants a milkshake. Me too. I got the stuff to make them last night while I was at the store. Yay. Val had a DQ blizzard earlier today with her grandsons. That is so neat. I'm really glad you all got to go. I could pay $45 and have one delivered from DQ. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Women's Station Channel says, Death Valley, I lived there. And Valerie doesn't know that one. But she's right. You know, Women's Station Channel gets it. The lady who lived there is so right. It is Death Valley. Now, I can't imagine living there. I will say, I just can't imagine that. Like my mind is going to take, it's going to take me some time to get my mind around that. How was it when you were living there? Because I always think about it as being insanely hot. Like the milkshakes would not have to wait long to defrost by sitting them outside. But yep, she is right. I'm going to pull this up too. I'm thinking about it because it's Death Valley National Park, Badwater Basin. Lowest point in North America, supposed to be a surreal landscape of vast salt flats. Stories suggest that it earned its nickname when a mule belonging to an early survivor refused to drink from the spring. There's a spring-fed pool there, and he wouldn't drink from it. And I kind of don't blame him. I would be hesitant to drink from it too, actually. But if you've got to, you got to. So, Death Valley National Park. Yeah. Women's Station Channel said she was extremely close, iguanas and hot. Yeah, I can imagine. I want to go there sometime, but I want to go when it's cool. I don't want to go when it's super hot. That and Joshua Tree. I want to go there too. But anyway, going right on over to the next question. What Southern River flows most of its length across the top of a mountain? Is it the Little River in northeast Alabama, the Tennessee River in Tennessee, or the Lower New River in West Virginia? Okay. So what Southern River flows most of its length across the top of a mountain? Oh, busy lady's taking us off topic. Let me see. Send some prayers for her son. He's headed down a bad path. Yes. And it's been stressful and draining lately. Yes. Yeah. And if you need to, I'm going to echo what Stellar says. Mine's open. So hopefully it'll work out okay. Sooner than later. But definitely, and I've got you written down. Let's see. On the okay, Women's Station Channel says Tennessee. Valerie says Alabama. Glad to. And it is, it is in Alabama. It's the Little River Canyon Natural Preserve, contains the Little River, and it actually flows mostly across the top of Lookout Mountain. Some of you may be familiar with hearing about Lookout Mountain. It's featured prominently during the Civil War. Let me see if I can pull this up because the pictures of this are gorgeous. And it is a national preserve. So it has the national preserves are tasked with protecting our natural features that provide homes for wildlife and so forth. Each of our national public lands have a different purpose, and so the preserve, think of it as a nature preserve. And I'm going to share this. So how's that for a gorgeous, gorgeous photo? And let's see, it even says, I think it's, okay, here it goes. It even says the Little River is unique because it flows for most of its length atop Lookout Mountain in northeast Alabama. And Lookout Mountain is actually kind of Tennessee and northeast Alabama. So this is on the Alabama side. There's a huge amount of resources here, a huge amount of just cultural history. Um, that really, it's a really cool place. So, should you go to the Chattanooga, Tennessee area, put this on your list of places to see while you're there. The Little River Canyon. Okay. Yeah, and that one's unique because of it flowing most of the length across the top of the mountain. We love you, busy lady. We'll just say that, okay? Women's Station Channel says, ooh, oh, yeah, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So, all right, back to the trivia. What U.S. national park was the first U.S. national park? Was it Yellowstone, the Grand Canyon, or the Smoky Mountains? So, which was the first national park? Yellowstone, the Smoky Mountains, or what was the other one? I forgot. Yellowstone, Smoky Mountains, or the Grand Canyon. Sorry. What could it be? Okay, we've got the Smokies, we've got Yellowstone. What is it? What is it? Give y'all a second to type in here. Hey, Laurel is in. Hi, Laurel. Welcome. How's Candy? Did y'all have a good time for her birthday? Y'all, Candy turned 10. Yay, good for her. Okay, Women's Station Channel says Yellowstone. It is actually Yellowstone. Yellowstone National Park was our first national park. And there it is. Um, It says the crowning achievement of returning expeditions was to help save Yellowstone from private development. Um, and it says Langford, and I'm starting in the middle of the page, so I'm kind of missing it. Promoted bill in Washington in late 1871, early 1872, that drew upon the precedent of the Yosemite Act of 1864, which was Civil War time going on there. And so yeah, that was Yosemite. And so they built upon that for the Yellowstone National Park Protection Act to actually, so that was the first one. And it encompasses Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming. And on this one, if you ever go, plan on taking more time than what you think it is, than what you think it's going to take, because it's so, it's gorgeous for one thing, and it's a little crowded, but it's just, you have these herds of bison that are all over everywhere. And when they decide they want to walk on the road, they're going to walk on the road. And there's nothing that you can do except go. So there you go. But let's go over here. Yellowstone was designated a public park in 1872. So the act for Yosemite was passed, but the park actually, for another park, it wasn't actually developed until Yellowstone. So yeah, definitely if you go there, plan on it taking a lot longer than what you think it is going to, because you're not going to move those rocks. It is not going to happen. They're going to get out of the way when they get out of the way. And we are talking herds. I mean, there may be 100 bison on the road or more. Not all the time, though. Not all the time. But when there is, there is. And a funny story, um, there's always some wander around the park, and you do have to be careful of them. But we stopped at this little visitor center place so we could go to the restrooms, and we go into the building. And my husband's like, "Yeah, I'll come in a minute." So we looked up, and guess who's kind of following my husband along the parking lot? The bison. So he was like, "Oh, okay." And so what he did was he made sure to kind of move around and put a pickup truck in between the bison. And so a few minutes later, the park ranger came and took care of it. So I'm getting feedback noise. Oh no, that's not good. Let me go back in here and double check this. You know, Peter was saying something about sound earlier. Did that help? Let me know if that helped. I only had one thing I can do. If that doesn't clear it up, then I'll change and get a different mic. So let me know. Stellar says hers was fine when he asked. Okay. Sounds better. Okay. Lizzie says it sounds better. So let me know if we have any more problems. Hopefully we won't. Okay. Hopefully not. Cross our fingers. Okay, now here's one that caused an argument in with my husband and I, and that is where is the least visited national park? Where is the least visited national park? Is it Alaska, Kansas, or North Dakota? Alaska, Kansas, or North Dakota? What could it be? Okay, good. Good, good, good. All right, if you ever have problems, holler at me. Because I can check the quality of the stream, make sure the stream's okay. But that's about all I can do other than double checking and then turning the sound off for a second and back on. So it sounds like that worked. So thank goodness. So yeah. So our question is, where is the least visited national park? Alaska, Kansas, or North Dakota? North Dakota, North Dakota. Anybody else? It's Alaska. It is Alaska. And a lot of people go to Alaska for national parks. Just this is not one that makes the list. Oh, good. I'm glad it's better. Yay! All right. Y'all are all saying it's better. So, woo! We'll celebrate. Stella Piper says, oh, Alaska for sure. Called it. Yep. But that's okay. Like I said, it kind of caused a little bit of a discussion at my house. So, while we're talking about this, what is the least visited national park? We know it's in Alaska, but which one is it? Is it Gates of the Arctic National Park? Is it Denali National Park? Or is it Lake Clark National Park and Preserve? Which one is it? Which one could it be? Which one could it be? Okay, we know it's Alaska. And it is beautiful, I will say. This is a absolutely stunning national park. So, all right. So nobody's guessing, or at least I don't see it. Stellar says, what were the options again? There you go. Laurel says, Stellar, nobody likes to show off. I'm telling your dad. I don't know that it'll do any good. He'll probably just roll his eyes and say, yep, that's Stellar. All right. So the least visited national park, the name of it is Gates of the Arctic National Park. And we have been as close to it as you can get without hiring a plane and going over. And the plane was just like way out of our budget. Like you can hire a plane to take you from Colton and Deadhorse and so forth and fly over there, but they're not cheap. They are not cheap. So if you go and you're going up the Dalton in Alaska, the Haul Road, the Dalton Highway, there is a little visitor center kind of at Yukon Crossing. And there you can take your national park book and they'll stamp it for you. And they'll stamp it Gates of the Arctic National Park because that's the closest point that you can get to and still, without having a plane and, still be on land. So it is, you can see the park from where we were, and it was amazing. It's up there, at the Arctic. So we were at the Arctic Circle. Absolutely like the coolest thing. So anyway, Women's Station Channel said she would have said Lake Park. That is one of the least seen. Let me put this up. Now this was in 2021 too, by the way. And let me see. But it's just crazy how pretty it is when you get up there. Of course, we're talking about Alaska. I don't think they have an ugly spot in all of Alaska. 15 least visited national parks. And I will admit, this actually did kind of surprise me because we have a national park in America Samoa. Did y'all know that? And I really kind of thought that would be the least visited national park. But no, because Alaska has so much tourism. I guess they do also at America Samoa, because that was the second least visited national park, at least in 21. Gates of the Arctic was number 1. Then we had the National Park of American Samoa. Kobuk Valley National Park, which is also in Alaska, ranked in at number 3. North Cascades National Park in Washington, number 4. You mentioned the Lake Clark National Park and Preserve in Alaska. That's number 5. And I will tell you, if you're ever on, I know, if you're ever on the Kenai Peninsula in Alaska, and you were going from Anchorage to Homer being at the very end, the Homer Spit being at the very, very end of the land there. When you come into Homer, let me say it's right before you come into Homer, there is a spot where you can pull off and you can actually see Lake Clark Wildlife Preserve there, National Park and Preserve. You can actually see it. But that's another one of the places where you really need a bush plane to get to it. Or I guess you could take watercraft. But Alaska's amazing. Okay, Katmai National Park and Preserve. You need a plane to get there too. Isle Royale in Michigan was one of the least visited national parks. Ragnall St. Elias National Park and Preserve, coming in at number 8. I've been to that one, and it is freaking amazing. Absolutely, absolutely amazing. I think I liked that maybe as much or more as Denali, rather. Denali is Alaska. Denali is amazing. It's the largest mountain in North America. It creates its own weather pattern, which totally has me, intrigued. The Ragnall St. Elias National Park and Preserve, it's just crazy how gorgeous it is. But then, like I said, we are talking about Alaska. And then Glacier Bay National Park and Preserve in Alaska, that's one of the least visited at number 2. We actually have Dry Tortugas National Park in Florida. And some of the national parks that are in this contiguous 48 just really intrigue me. So I'm going to have to try to figure out how I can get to some of these at some point in my life. Then we have Great Basin National Park in Nevada, Congaree in South Carolina, Denali National Park and Preserve, Voyageurs National Park, and Guadalupe Mountains National Park. Now, that one's in Texas, and it's got the 4 highest peaks in Texas, but it's right there at the Texas border. So I'm not really sure I want to do that. But the others, oh my gosh. And let me see if I have a photo that we took at Ragnall. I'm not sure if I have it on. Or if I have it on Google or not. I use Google Photos to back up a lot, but I'm not sure. I had to go through and delete a bit because I was over 2 terabyte. I don't think I have the one I'm looking for. Whoops. Now that I can hit the right buttons. There we are at the visitor center. So you can see at least that we've been there. But it is snow-capped peaks, the rockiness of the mountains, the snow cap. I mean, now there's not a lot of paved roads, so you do have to kind of watch that. And in some of the places, if you're renting a vehicle, you can't take it on some of these roads, but you can get to the visitor center at Ragnall. And let me see if I have anything else. Oh yeah, it was cold that day. Can you tell? Here we are on the road, the Alaska Highway, right before we got to Ragnall. Pilot car. We don't have too many pilot cars in the lower 48 when we've got road construction going on, but by golly, they've got them up there. Yeah. So anyway, I actually worked this into a sermon one time, the pilot car, follow me. talking about Jesus being the pilot, and we follow him. So anyhow, let me get back over here to the chat, and then I got a couple more questions. Okay, Women's Station, I'm sorry your body is hurting, but thank you for coming in. His bouncy personality made up for it. He did. We love Tigger. I'm glad she's doing well. She's so cute. That's okay. We know who you are. Yeah, it was Tomlin. He had a good time on the trip. He was so spoiled because I made sure, and I'm going to do the same thing with Pipsy, but when I'm out on a trip, I make sure that I stop as frequently as possible. So I won't say every rest area, but every couple of hours we're stopping so I can make sure I get the dog out, because, you know, it's not like at home. At home, he could walk from one room to the other and, you know, take out some of his energy that way. But in the van, he could only walk from the front of the van to the back of the van, which he did. But I always tried to make sure that I stop at rest areas and walked him more. And with him being a husky, oh my gosh, he wanted to walk. So getting my 10,000 steps in was not a problem when we were traveling, because I would take him out and I was walking him. So he would get walks like 4 and 5 times a day whenever we stopped for at least 20 minutes, because that's what was better for him. Now, it really slowed me down because I had to allow an extra 2.5, 3 hours every day for driving to make sure I walked him. But it was so worth it. And he had a great time. And of course, there was a time when I had to, a couple of times rather, when I had to make sure that he was not standing in the seat, because that was the one thing that he really liked to do, was stand in the seat next to me. And we were on the Alaska Highway, and y'all have probably seen the photo. I've got it over in Facebook somewhere, where there is a bear casually walking down the road. And Cassandra was with me. So she had the passenger seat occupied, and I just calmly reached over and I just pushed Tomlin's head down. I thought we just probably didn't want to take any chances of him starting to bark or anything like that and disturbing that grizzly. So, yeah, funny moment there. Candy says, all right, Stellar, Candy and I are ready to take you on. There you go. My money is on Candy. Hold on, Candy. I got to put on my butt-kicking, ankle-bite-proof boots. Give it up, Stellar. Give it up. He was awesome. We need to slowly back away, Stellar. No. She'll take one look at Candy's face, and she will cave. Do not worry. Do not worry. So, all right. So that was the least visited national park. What do you all think is the most visited national park? Now, I think we've talked about this on the channel before, whether it was the Blue Ridge Parkway, Acadia National Park, or the Great Smoky Mountains. Which one? And we are talking about 2021, and I'm specifically saying national park. Park. Keyword to remember there. We're going to back away. Busy says, oh, she's going to go watch something funny to laugh. Take care, everyone. You take care too, okay? Smoky Mountains. I'm just glad she came in. And y'all, it is the Smoky Mountains. But in terms of parks, the Blue Ridge Parkway is technically a park, but not a national park. It's a parkway. And that actually came in as number 1 this past year rather. But the actual national park being the Smoky Mountains. So, yeah. And the other one, was what was the most visited national parkway, and I just gave that away. So there we go. I'll post all this over later over in the blog, the Bodacious Broads travel blog. You can check that out. And one of my most recent articles there, if you guys are interested, is restaurant discounts and discounts for seniors that you may not know about. So I tried to do something that maybe help us all save a couple of bucks here and there. All of us that are seniors anyway. And it's restaurant discounts, so that's up there. So I'll post it on that blog, okay? All right. Melissa McCarthy, kind of funny. Okay. All right, Busy, but thank you for coming in. Thank you. And thank you all. Usually we do this for about an hour, and we've done it for about an hour. So thank you all so much for coming in. I do have one little announcement that I want to make regarding my other channel and tomorrow, and that is I've been looking at Bible studies for the other channel and found one that I actually did years ago. And I'm going to start it here on this channel. I did it privately years ago, and you'll love this name. It's Bad Girls of the Bible. It's Bad Girls of the Bible. That's the name of the Bible study. And so we're going to be talking about folks like Eve. Now, Eve kind of messed up because, you know, she talks in her book about something I had always wondered about, and that is, if none of the other animals are talking, why would you listen to the snake? Just saying. So it talks about Eve, talking about Mary, talking about Esther and Mary and Mary Magdalene and some of the ladies, Bathsheba. It's just a really interesting study. I think you all are going to like it. So I'm going to do that on the other channel on Sunday nights at 9 p.m. So if anybody wants to tune in over there, that is Overcoming the Obstacles. And I'll have a link for that tomorrow. So anyway. Okay, Candy's saying she wants to know that my short videos get advertised more than your longer posts. Okay, that's good to know. I have a shorts. I'm going to try to do Sunday shorts. So I have a Sunday shorts coming out tomorrow. And it's so sweet, you all. I had lost the footage on several things and found it. And so tomorrow's shorts is going to be John holding the grandbaby for the first time. And the guy will not quit grinning. It's a really sweet, but it's a short. So I'm glad to know that the shorter videos are getting more attention. So that's good. Because, you know, sometimes with YouTube, I wonder like how much they're promoting any of the videos. It's really kind of frustrating, and I get lost, and I'm still trying to figure out all of this. And that's why I took the Google class. But I've got videos that, like my service dog, the vet visit, it's like a 6-minute video. I have 79 views on it. I have 20 views on my campground video. But yet on how to decide if I need a service dog, I've got over 1,000 views. So right next to one, 2 over that's got 20, and the one next to it that's got 30. And I can't figure out like the rhyme or reason for any of this. Yeah, and it's not all service dog videos that are doing well. You know, my washing machine videos are doing well, you know, but I don't know. But thank you for telling me that, because I am trying to figure out all this still and trying to figure out what you guys are interested in seeing so I don't bore you to tears. So, but thank you for that. Appreciate it. So, all right. Well, you know, that's covers for tomorrow, the video tomorrow, and the live stream tomorrow at 9 on the other channel. And I do want to thank you all for coming out and hanging out with me. And I'll see you a couple of times this week. And then I've got another shorts scheduled for next Sunday and so forth. And let's see, Candy's finding out that she's getting way more attention as well. Her shorts are like 5 times more people responses too. See, I'm not getting people responses on my shorts. Not much. So it just must be how YouTube is pushing those videos out, because they really are trying to compete with Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, and TikToks. And those are mostly short videos. So they are really punching them out there. So yeah, interesting. So, all right. Well, thank you all. Thank you for telling me that. And thank you all for hanging out. I hope you have a great week. And remember, always about the hashtag be Bodacious, which means you're not going to let life get in the way of living. Thank you all. Take care. And I'll see you tomorrow through the week. Do you have to use a special format for shorts? Yes, you do. It has to be vertical format, so this way instead of horizontal, and it has to be 59 seconds or less. And then you tag it hashtag shorts somewhere either in the title or in the description box. But if it's not vertical, it won't count. So it has to be vertical. You can do shorts on Instagram and Facebook and then put it on YouTube, but YouTube knows if you're doing that. So do it on YouTube first for a while and then share it, is what was suggested to me. And that's because there's stray parts of the coding that exist within your file when you do it on Instagram and on TikTok. And when you travel it over, port it over from there over here to YouTube, then YouTube knows that. So there we go. She films with a camera, not her phone. Just turn the camera the other way. Just turn it this way instead of this way. Because on YouTube videos, you want 1280 by 720. But for the shorts and the reels and so forth, you want it flipped. You want 720 by 1280. So, yeah. So, all right. Good night, Candy. And good night, everyone. Thank you all for coming in again. And have a bodacious week, you all. Take care. Okay? Good night.